Hey guys, I'm Jordan Crook with TechCrunch, and today we're looking at the Spectrum by LG. I was pretty tough on this phone when it was first announced back at CES, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not getting any more forgiving right now. See, the Spectrum absolutely has impressive specs, like 4G LTE and a 720p display, and performance in quite a few areas is really great. I just don't know if I can get past all this plastic. The Spectrum is 2.7 inches across, 5.3 inches tall, and 0.42 inches thick. It weighs just 142 grams. It also has rounded edges, 3 capacitive buttons, and a pretty ugly patterned back panel. Here's the thing. This phone actually feels pretty light, but sometimes too light translates to a cheap feel in the hand. And that pattern on the battery door bothers me a lot. Why did LG put a pattern on there that you can't feel? It seems silly. But don't hold out for a premium feeling phone from LG. They're really sold on plastic right now. A 3.5mm headphone jack, the lock button, and the micro USB all sit on the top of the phone. Oh, and that micro USB doubles as an HDMI out port. The battery door is removable to let you at your micro SD, SIM, and battery, and there's also a gigabyte of RAM under the hood. Now for the good part. The LG Spectrum has a 4.5-inch 720 by 1280 LCD display. We're talking true HD IPS, a 16:9 aspect ratio, and 326 pixels per inch. It's just about everything you could ask for out of a mobile display, and everything looks brilliant and undistorted. Seriously, this is your big selling point right here. Blacks are black, colors are bright, and text is sharp. This, of course, comes in handy when you consider that the Spectrum actually has a pretty solid little camera. The back camera is 8 megapixels, and the front-facing camera is 1.3 megapixels. The back camera has LED flash, f2.4 aperture size, and can record in 1080p. I'm not all that impressed with the software on the camera app. There aren't as many cool settings as on a Moto or Samsung phone. But it at least has a nice UI, I'll give it that. Color reproduction seems to be on point though, and the Spectrum handled low light much better than I expected. The Spectrum has a 1.5 GHz dual-core processor and runs Android 2.3.5 Gingerbread. I'm not going to get into thoughts on performance until I've spent a little bit more time with the phone, but I will tell you this. LG's custom overlay, I think they call it LG UI, annoys the crap out of me. The entire point of an overlay is for Android phone manufacturers to differentiate in a useful manner. All LG UI does is slow things down, especially this carousel media hub thing. It's also really ugly, and I really don't see it serving a purpose. We usually reserve a place to talk about that something special on each phone, but with the Spectrum, there's really nothing to share. Yes, the display is beautiful and the camera's nice, but there's nothing about this phone that draws me to it. I'd prefer to pick up a less powerful but better built Windows phone, or the Razr, or the Galaxy Note, or even one of HTC's new phones before I chose this one. Perhaps it's all a matter of taste, but the Spectrum feels like half a try at something great, especially considering that a nice display is half the battle. But at least LG is being fair about pricing. The Spectrum will go for $199 on contract and is available now from Verizon. I'm Jordan Crook for TechCrunch, and that's it for the Spectrum by LG.